Check, check. 1, 2. Looks like we're good. Salutations, 8 ball. How'd you do today? Did you trade? I missed the short. I was in the short up here. It was in the short in this sideways mess. Whoops. Right in here. And I bailed right before the dump. So after that happened, I just, well, Jay Powell was speaking, testifying today. So I missed this inside bar. It's 15-minute inside bar up off the open. So that was a nice push up. And then this was Powell kind of choppy sideways as it went on. We got a push up and then this kind of sideways chop. And then once I missed this trade, I just bailed on the day. I went and took a nap. I didn't wake up till like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so I missed the rest of the market. Doesn't look like there was anything too spectacular, so I'm not upset about it. So I just ended small red on the day. I think it was down like 150 times 2 XFAs, and the other I was down at 200, something like that. So kind of upset I didn't at least get that back to break even, or it would have been a nice profitable trade. I was close to 100 points, I think, on that move. So, whoops, drawing. Don't want the drawing tool. Let's see where we were at here. Yeah, that was 120 points at the bottom, so I probably would have got 80 of it, 80 or 100 maybe. Would have just trailed my stop on a 2 minute. So that was pretty frustrating. So I just called it a day. Let me get my chart set up here because we got an open in 5 minutes. I'm getting a little bit of a late start. Wanted to take my dog out. It's snowing, required a little extra work. So we got inside day, we got inside 4 hour, and inside hour. So sign me up. We haven't had set up on the 60 and the 4 hour in a minute, and I'm pretty excited about it. Let me see if I got my template set up. Not yet. So let's do this. Let me try and fix this real quick. Text. We can change this to 4 hour. I'm gonna save this as 4 hour. I have this all set up in Top Step, but not in Trading View. So see if I can fix some of that right now. Other marking up charts on my other screen, and then I will switch over to see template 60 I got. I'll switch up to Top Step and make sure I get my, there we go. Need things popping on my main monitor here, and now I will Testing. Weird. That's I've not had that happen before where oh no, it did happen one other time where it just cut out in the middle. I might need to either get a new mic. I don't know how I'm gonna fix that problem, but definitely need to fix it. Don't like talking to myself. Yeah, I was just saying that I was gonna cancel copy trading on 3XFAs. I had three accounts that were small red earlier, and then I just decided to copy trade because it was New York pre-market, and I didn't need a backup account at that point. Like I was gonna take trades that worked or they didn't, and then be done for the day. So I was just saying I'll be maybe a little cautious here, but these are the setups that I like to trade. We got an inside 32, inside 30, inside 60. There's the 60 up. See how bad the spread is. Whoops. I'm just going to enter in single instead of three here because that's once the spread tightens up a little bit, then I'll add some if I get a chance. I want it closer back to the 60 trigger. Got a ways to get to the 4 hour, so plenty of. Let's add another one here. Usually do a three micro starter and then scale up to like two mini size. But I'm going to be a little more cautious because I'm copy trading all three funded accounts. So everything is times three. So I don't need to try and swing for the fences. Yeah, I am the IT guy, A ball, but you know, requires work and like doing stuff and it's like one of those the problem is it's inconsistent in, when it happens. If it was something that was repeating on some sort of, when I did this, then that happens, but it's not doing that. And those are like the worst problems. I just hate them. And I've got out of the IT stuff. I don't even write that much code anymore. I mostly just trade. Actually, I haven't written code in several months. Trying to get out of that business. I got a nice six-figure offer on bongs.com I'm considering taking. So that would, then I can just focus on trading. And there's no pressure to trade to pay bills, which would be nice. So, yeah, would rather hire someone to do the grunt work. I'm burned out. Did it for 3 years. It was enough for me. Rather sit here and click buttons. Take a nap in the afternoon. Stay up at night. You know, kind of do whatever I want. That's the life I need. Waiting to see if this pulls back a little bit more. If not, I mean, I kind of need to wait for, something. Maybe I'll go down to the 1 minute, see what it's doing on the 1 minute here. Just drop a little fibby fib, mark the 50 percenter, probably add something there. I just use this. I've been experimenting with this fib for using it as a guide for pullback. So as long as price stays above or near 50%, then I'm looking for a continuation. Just this is a pullback, healthy. If it pulls back more than 50%, then that's not as great. We could end up with something like this where we pull back more than 50% and then we tighten up. I'm looking for just, a little bit of a pullback here and then continuation to the upside. So I'll probably tighten this up a little bit here. We'll see. I'm taking it easy here. I need to I did break my 7 day losing streak on Sunday. I put up 1700 in my XFAs. So that was nice. I was happy about that. So just being a little more, conservative, I guess you could say. Cautious. The main set, like I don't want to run out of firepower before the 4 hour uh triggers. Trying to stop out here. Trying to stop me out. Got tagged. Just not what I want to see. And now I'll just wait. See if it holds this. That might have been a good. Man, price is really kind of jumpy here. Hey, look at this order book. Decide what I want to do. If I want to jump back in this here at the. Let's let's just try another. I'm gonna make another attempt here. As long as we stay above the 60 trigger, maybe we get something going. I don't know. Not a lot of confidence. So trading tiny size. Really wanted to see this just a little bit of a pullback and then keep pushing higher. So doesn't always work out. And inside 4 hour, which I just told someone the other day, I was putting on my do not trade list. Like if we're inside 4 hour, and we are like stuck right in the middle of the 4 hour. We look here. All right, we are like smack dab in the middle of this, so it's not like inside 4 hour, but closer to breaking bull or closer to breaking bear. But we are holding this 60 trigger. Not anymore. Just closing this. It's not at all what I want to see. Now I'll just have to wait. Yeah, I mentioned to somebody the other day that I was leaning towards it's putting the 4 hour on my do not trade list. Like I won't trade if it's a 60 inside or a 60 and 4 hour inside. But the 60 broke the inside bar up, but we did have an inside 4 hour. So, and like I said, it's not be different if it was potentially going to get outside of this 4 hour inside bar in some meaningful way. Like if the candle was closer to the top here of this inside bar, I could argue that all right, we're going to trade the hourly inside to break the 4 hour inside up, or if it was down here, the hourly inside to break the 4 hour bear and target this low or this high. But we're quite a ways away. You can see the 4 hour I have marked up here and the 4 hour low down here. So it's a lot of space between these. Well, worth a shot. I don't regret, making an attempt. But I'm just not going to take a bunch of, I'm going to try once or twice and then just wait. So just under 10 minutes of trading. You know, bull buyers kind of ran out of steam here. And now it just becomes a waiting game. Gotta wait for something to set up here. I got a lot of messages. I saw a ton of messages on Twitter about Top Step's quote unquote new rules. If you're trading on Top Step, I would not sweat it in any way. I posted a tweet. I took Top Step's terms of service from July 2024 and I compared to what they have updated, or their supposed updated prohibited, their list of prohibited conduct, and it's virtually identical. I think if I had to guess, and based on what I've seen from trading influencers, they are looking to block people who are fine spending 10 or 20,000 a month on combines and resets, and full porting XFAs hoping to get a couple payouts to cover those expenses. But I think the majority of people are fine. There's no meaningful rule change that would make me like question if I'm gonna move to a different prop firm. I still think Top Step is by far the best. I don't get paid by Top Step. I just think they do a good job. You know, there's no referral code. I don't get money for promoting them. I just have done a ton of investigating and research into where I want to trade, right? Who's going to pay me? Who's got a good reputation? Whose rules are reasonable? And it's, just is Top Step. I've looked at MFFU. I've looked at Tradeify. So outside 15, outside 30, trying to go outside 60. So outside 15, outside 30. And I feel like I was slipping a little bit here because usually on these really tight ranges, these double inside bars, if we break one side and we don't really get going, you should start looking for us to come back through and tag the other side. I don't know that I would have traded that short, but it wasn't even on my radar, and it definitely should have been. I usually point those out. So, not my favorite when we've got outside, outside, especially if we get an hourly outside bar. I'll probably wait for like the 30-minute flip and then hop off, honestly. Because if we open inside hour, it's just going to be bad trading until, in my opinion, it's just not gonna, there's not going to be anything there for me. But we'll see. We could always get a Trump tweet that sends the market ripping or dumping. Lately, it's been dumping. When we get news on tariffs, let me pop over and see if anybody's got questions on YouTube. Nope. So back to the waiting game. See if this hour goes outside, and if it does, that's just going to be kind of meh. Won't be very exciting, I don't think. Anybody trade during the Super Bowl? I wasn't live streaming. I thought I might, but I just grabbed my laptop and was watching the game and was able to take advantage of that massive run during Asia and overnight Globex from Globex Open. We had a big gap down on I think aluminum and steel tariffs, and then the market just ripped. Made about 600 per funded. I was copy trading two accounts. I feel like I should have made way more, but it's okay. I tried to think about, what how much $1,700 is in real money, what that pays for in my life, and I decided to take the money and run. I did try and trade later in the day. I actually gave back maybe about 300 total, 100 per XFA, and then made it back. Actually, I think I started. I was up about 1,500, and then I ended the day like at 16 or 17, something like that. But those are the times to be aggressive. I wish I'd been a little more aggressive. But again, I was coming off of a 7 day losing streak, which for me is the longest that I can remember. And fortunately, I have a personal daily loss set, which kind of kept me protected. I didn't tilt, couldn't revenge trade. Speaking of, before I forget, I need to lock out risk settings to keep me safe from myself. I know it's crazy, but I don't know if T. Rosal is he here? No, I don't see him. He posted earlier in funded chat that he recognized he was tilting. Where is it? Let me see if I can find it. And this is an accomplishment. If you guys struggle with this, he said, proud of myself today. I traded well in two combines off the open and during PAL. I locked both those accounts and switched to an XFA thinking I'm hot shit. Started doing stupid stuff and started tilting. I caught myself, flattened everything, and got up from the computer and just walked around saying to myself, I'm tilting, I'm doing stupid shit over and over. I'm done for the day. That is incredibly difficult to do sometimes. Recognize that you are making poor decisions, you're not trading well, that it is time to pack it in and literally do anything else. Do not click buttons. Like nothing good is going to come out of it. So, big shout out to him for catching himself in that state of mind, because a lot of times we get the fuck it's where it's just like I don't even care. Oh, here we go, outside hour. Come on, so close. Pretty sure we're gonna get there, and then that's gonna ruin. I'll have to set alerts on the 4 hour and see if the 4 hour breaks. Bear. Probably missed it by, let's see. Let me look at NQ because NQ looks like it's right on the dot. Low 77950. We missed it by a tick. 779.25. So one tick from going, maybe two ticks, because one more tick would be the low. So two ticks, half a point. So if I was like in a short there looking for the outside bar, might exit, take partial that close. But I think we're still going to get it. Just a matter of time. So anybody who caught that short, I was a good, it looks like what, 40 points, 35. Not too shabby. Just didn't have a good reason to short right there. Was definitely looking bullish. So I was looking bullish. I am setting some alerts right now on the 4 hour low and alert down here. I wonder why these charts aren't synced, like my lines that I've drawn on my other. I thought that worked. Oh, I see why. Not the same layout. That's okay. Yeah, I set an alert here on this the low of this 4 hour candle, right? If this 4 hour inside bar breaks bear, I want to know about it. I actually want to know about it a little bit before it happens, so I'm going to set another alert before it triggers in case I'm interested in getting into that. Because if we get some follow through, it could be be a potential, looks like 50 or maybe 80 points down. Let I'd be targeting, like first target would be here, and then second target would be down here. I'm gonna start browsing around. I haven't traded oil, gold, or anything other than NQ recently. I missed a so I was looking at CL the other day. Pull it up on the daily chart, CL, and I was talking about this inside bar that broke bull after CL's been getting completely crushed. So we had this inside bar that broke bull and hit first target, didn't quite get up here to the second target, took another day, and we got some more follow through. Now we're opening inside day, but one of the reasons I want to open a personal account where I can where I can hold things overnight for these types of trades. I can't really do it on Top Step. I could have gotten in a trade here and made whatever it is 113 ticks, but I wouldn't mind being in this just holding a position, especially with you know the amount of selling that we've seen. Wonder what it looks like on like a month. Doesn't look great. Weekly inside bar, but up near the highs. We could see oil rebound. I talked about this before when I last month when I pointed out the double inside up hit target and then just gave it all back. So, reminder not to be greedy when things hit our targets. As stratters, we kind of have an idea where they're going, and when they get there, just be happy with, the trade. Don't start aiming for the moon, which I tend to do sometimes. Definitely need to get better at closing out at profit targets. Gold. Gold was crazy yesterday. So here's Globex open over here. Just kept grinding higher, and then we had a massive dump candle that happened really quick. So this from the outside candle to the low happened in 10 minutes. We got 323 ticks down in gold, which is crazy. So I know some people who were longing up at the top here got wrecked. Then you end up with big mother bar here and a lot of chop inside until we get break out of it. So like I see these big moves like this. I just mentally make a box, right? I care about when we get outside of this range. You can see we broke here, follow through down, back test. So I pay attention to these big mother bar candles. Try not to trade inside of them, even if there's a wide range. Like, yeah, you could have long the bottom. You could have done a lot of things here. You could have, got in a long and then or the short. I mean, but look at this. This is all over the place. A lot of sideways, fake out, down, nope, reverse, nope, back down. Just an area that I prefer to avoid. Sometimes I catch myself getting caught up in it, but I try not to. Sarah's mentioned a lot of times that Rob would, she would be getting killed in setups, and Rob would say it's, you're trading inside of a mother bar. Like, just don't do that. So I think of that anytime I see a big range, big candle like that. That's kind of why I had a losing streak here. If you want to, let me see if NQ is doing anything. Probably not. Nope. Let's go to like. So I looked back at why I thought I was trading poorly because here's where I made money. I made money on this dump. I lost money in this chop, right? Sideways, kind of slow grind up, but no, look, red candle, green candle, red candle. I made money here, and then I got chopped up again in this zone. And then I did good on this, this gap down big green candle. So we were basically stuck. Price was stuck inside of like this big candle over here. Just kind of chopping around, tried to break out, chopping around. The gap down was the reason the gap down was so nice is because we took out, you can see it there's a better time frame. Let's like look at NQ. Let's look at like the hourly chart. I think it's pretty clear. I still had it. Oh, different drum, but this was a daily low pivot. So you can see we gapped down, took out this pivot here, and got an exhaustion reversal. So ideal. I wasn't sitting here when this originally opened. I was like 15 minutes late to trading that day. But I did manage to get it somewhere up here. But yeah, we try and push lower, can't do it, and then out of gas. And things reverse. So I saw some people on Twitter who got in on this basically right down here and just held it overnight. I think like two minis. I think they were up like $8,000. So solid trades. Congratulated them. But yeah, I wanted to look back and see why I may not have traded as good as I had started the week, and it was just kind of stuck inside of a mother bar, bit of choppiness. There was enough range in there to trade, but there weren't really any setups for me on a 4 and 12 hour chart that I can remember, and that's usually what I like to focus on. So miss the outside bar, but this is why you don't have to, if you're 2 ticks away from going outside bar, just start peeling off. Once we go outside bar, we get moves like this. Like this is now a green outside bar on the 30. Broke bull, failed, red candle, back to green candle. So a little almost little. We got a little broadening formation. Little megaphone thing going on here. Like that. Whoops. Wow, that was bad. So we got a 60 back and forth. We got a 30-minute flip right now. Let's go back to the 15. I kind of want to long this, but I think I need to. I really think I need to try and enforce this rule upon myself. This just don't trade the 4 hour inside. It's going to be super hard. But I do like these 3-2-2, 3-2 down, green hammer up. But we got a 30-minute inside still. Hour back and forth, inside 4 hour. It's just not super ideal for me. I have missed some good trades, not taking these entries. Last week, I missed a really good trade, not jumping in the long that I was debating getting into. But it's okay. Like, it's going to happen. It doesn't make me as crazy as it used to. It still makes me crazy. I still hate it. I hate missing good trades. Just like the short earlier, once I missed that, I was thoroughly disgusted with myself. And I didn't really do anything wrong. I just kind of like time stopped myself. Like, all right, this trade isn't really going. Powell was testifying. Am I just gonna sit here and wait, or just kind of cut it off? And I ended up cutting it off, and then of course it rolled over. So hit the 15-minute target. So little new high a day, short-term exhaustion risk, but still got magnitude on the hourly here, up to about 841 with 27 and a half minutes to get there. So this is what I was interested in initially. This is the move higher that I wanted to see. Now I need to set an alert. It looked like we were going to break the 4 hour bear. I need to set an alert on the 4 hour high. And a little pre-warning alert. So you can see my 4 hour chart here. These little dotted lines are alerts, and then I've got this high marked and an alert set on that breaking. I think I need to give myself a little more of a heads up here, so I'm going to drag this down a tad. But these are the two levels that I care about. Is breaking this 4 hour up, which we've got time frame continuity to the upside. So as long as we're green on the day, the week, we've got the month, the quarter, the year to back us up. I will keep looking bull, and I will keep, I think we get back up to 22,000. That's what I've been pounding the table on all week. I thought we were going to get there possibly today, but that was after, Monday closed. I thought maybe we get a little bit of corrective activity. So I was looking for something like this, right? A little bit of a pullback here, and then maybe this inside bar to break up. Whoops. So a little corrective activity up, and we just kind of been in this sideways sort of thing. But bears have no juice. Sellers, the best they've done is gotten down here, which this is like a healthy pullback. I mean, if we plop a fib tool on this, let's see. So here we go. This is why I keep an eye on this fib here. So we held above 50%. We did not pull back more than 50%, and we are trying to move higher. So what's today? Tuesday? Yeah, I think we get to 22K by the end of the week, but that's just me. Anything can happen. We've got, definitely with the Trump presidency, there's headline risk. His tweets will send the market running 100, 200 points in either direction. Sometimes they almost immediately recover, sometimes not. So you just got to be careful. Use stops, manage risk. That's what you should be doing anyway. I feel like this was a missed opportunity, but I'll live with it. If this had gone outside bar, I like if it had definitely hit outside bar, we got pushed down past the 60. I may have made an initial entry on a long for the to play the bottom of this broadening formation. It's always easy to look back. I mean, it's good to look back and say like, hey, what could I have done differently here? What were the circumstances? You're looking bull. We got a bit of a sell off. How far are they pushing it down? Does it make sense to, try and snipe an entry back in the direction that you're looking for? But we were red on the day at the time, and I try not to trade against continuity on the day. But we did have if you look on a 5 minute, did have this inside bar. So I'm always looking for inside bars at reversals. Inside bar up, we get back moving in the direction that I think we should be going. And it's really clear on a 15-minute here. You can see low, high, low, high, low, high. We're just tightening up here. Getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And then this is going to break one way or another. But I'm looking for this. Get out of here. Get out of here. Dorothea, do futures usually move really slow like CL is doing right now? Does that mean there's low volume? Yeah, it's low volume. It just means that it's not like the main oil like CL main movement. If you look at CL, is usually during uh New York or the lead up into it. Sometimes it gets moved. It really depends, but usually you can see here's Globex open right here. This is kind of slow and sideways. Let's look back. This day we actually got to push up and then kind of sideways and then finally got moving. But the 8 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m. into like New York Open is usually when there's more volatility. You just have to be more patient. The moves just happen slower. I actually prefer it. I don't mind it. I'm okay getting into a position and just letting it play out for 3 or 4 hours. If it's a slow grind up, fine. It's hit or miss like anything else. Like Asia, Globex in Asia normally slow, and then on yesterday we had where's the here we had the big gap down and moved. I think let's see 282 points in the first 2 hours. That's not typical. So that's why I sit here. I'm willing to take a shot at Globex Open, see if anything happens, in the first hour and a half, and then the next time I care about looking is 10 a.m. Eastern for the new 4 hour candle. Like if I wasn't trading, uh, on Sunday, I would have missed this massive move up. I mean, the majority of the move, the initial move happened in like the first hour, but really like 2 hour. So if I wasn't here, I wouldn't have been able to capitalize on that. So I'm willing to, trade an hour and a half of my time or 2 hours to see how things open up. If they're slow, they're slow. Sometimes I can get a good entry, like for an overnight kind of swing. But yeah, gold and like oil, they usually don't get started like right at 6 p.m. Eastern. Usually when Tokyo, I think, opens. China likes buying gold. You get Tokyo open and then Shanghai is shortly after. I think like an hour, 2 hours after. But the market's the market. It just does its thing. I just try and be here as much as I can to take advantage of moves. Like I don't know. For me, I don't have kids. I don't have a wife. I got a dog. If I'm not trading, I'm just probably staring at a wall. So rather sit in front of the computer and try and make money. Inside Fiverr. See what's doing here on the bigger picture. Gunning for hourly magnitude. That's it, really. I mean, I should have got in earlier when I said I was considering long, I wanted to long this on the 15 minute for hourly magnitude to potentially trigger the 4 hour. That would have been like a really great early entry. And on the 15, once it triggered, it took almost no drawdown, or really no drawdown. There's no lower wick here. So had I just got in on the 15er, I'd be in a comfortable position and then looking to just hold this for the next, really until like 2 a.m. at least, if not just let it ride overnight into New York pre-market. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, right? But if I'm right, and there's a runs another, 200 points, that's a great trade. And you don't need small size. It's $200 per micro per 100 points. So, even with a small 3 micro starter, $600 on a 100 point move, which isn't bad just for like not doing anything. Just get in the trade early and let it sit there, play out. That's a tricky one. Dorothea says, "Do you sit and watch until early in the morning if you're holding a position, or do you set your stops and go to bed?" I try and set stops and go to bed, but I usually don't do a great job of that. Even if I'm in bed, I want to check my phone and see where I'm at in the position. That's just a little bit of mental illness on my part. Um, it's something that I am going to start practicing more. Like, think about it. If I had taken just one micro here, right, and say I have $20, $30 of risk, which is a decently wide stop on a micro, and I just let it go and pay no attention to it, and maybe, I'm not hitting it out of the park, right? But 100 points is $200. So, it's like a free, I'm risking 20, make 200. So 10 to 1, 1 to 10 RR, and just like leaving it. And I'm going to, I keep saying this, I need to actually put it into action. But getting into a position and just walking away and leaving it and getting better at letting it either, stop me out or hit my profit target. And I don't even need to set a profit target, right? I could really just set my stop and then check in on it later, or I use a very wide trailing stop. I mean, there are a lot of different ways to approach it. But yeah, I do want to get better at getting in a position. And this is in general, even if I'm sitting here, getting better at letting the position play out, not moving my stops a lot, not messing with the trade, having a game plan and sticking to it. Ideally, at some point in the future, like it's if there's something else that I can do besides staring at the screen, then that's what I'm gonna do. Like if I'm gonna make money whether I'm sitting here or not, me sitting here doesn't have any impact on the trade, right? The market's not like, well, this guy he's in it to win it, so we we better we better keep on going. I mean, it doesn't work that way. So, but I do tend to, like I said, if I'm in a position and I'm like, all right, I'm just going to bed, I'm waking up every 30 minutes, like checking on the trade. Is it work? Whatever. And yeah, it's not really helpful. We got an hourly flip in just over 14 minutes, 14.5. And we might end up with what I call one of these 4 bar plays where it's just a strat setup, right? Usually strat setups 3 candles, right? Candle 1, candle 2, candle 3. So as stratters, we are looking, this is the trigger, right? We break the inside bar up, we're targeting this candle high. But you can see we're struggling to get there. We're up here. But if we open the next hourly candle and we could potentially continue to the upside and we end up hitting this target and it just takes 1, 2, 3, 4 candles instead of the normal, 1, 2, 3 to get to its target. So I'll be keeping an eye on that because if that happens, we are going to if we get up if we get a candle up here and we take this high out, we're going to trigger the 4 hour, right? The 4 hour inside bar will break bull and then we'll be looking up at 871 up here and hopefully break out of this tightening range. This right, this at some point this is going to break. It's not going to just tighten up, tighten up, tighten up, tighten up and then the market closes forever, right? This is going to break out in one direction or another. And these are usually when you get pretty explosive moves. And if your eyes are not trained, this is what this double 4 hour inside or inside 12 hour looks like. Like when I look at this right here, I could tell this is an inside bar. We've got inside bars forming. When you see a tightening range, if on a higher time frame, it's an inside bar. When you see this going on, right, we're forming inside bars. These candles right here are outside of these candles, are outside of these candles. You can see what this looks like, right? Smaller and smaller until this breaks. So that's what we've referred to as candle blending, right? You just kind of smash some candles together and make sense of them in a different way. Look at them from a different, time frame is essentially what we're doing. Right? That's all like 12 hour is a bunch of 4 hour candles smashed together. A 4 hour candle is a bunch of hourly candles smashed together. Or a 4 hour is a bunch of 5 minute candles smashed together. And it just comes with time looking at charts, right? You see these same things over and over when you've spent hundreds slash thousands of hours looking at charts. You just start to notice, like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Like when I first started trading, it did not make sense to me at all. I didn't understand the importance of inside bars or outside bar. I didn't understand anything about bars. The only bar I knew is the one where that serves vodka. And you practice this stuff over and over. You see the same things play out across different time frames, and you say like, "Oh, hey, okay, that finally clicks. Like that makes sense. I'm gonna be on the lookout next time that happens." 9.5 minutes, and we'll see what happens here on this hourly chart. Is what I'm most interested in. I would love like a little bit of a pullback here to give me some kind of entry opportunity instead of this kind of sideways chop here, which is inside 15. So the last two 5 minute candles. So inside 15, right? Inside 15er. And if we zoom in, you can see inside bar, this just broke above, inside bar, inside bar. So we got a tightening range here. I don't want to get involved in this chop. I want to wait for a better entry. What's up, Joey Morgan? I don't know if you're still here, but what's up? How are you guys doing this week? Anybody want to comment on their struggles or wins? Like what's holding you back or what's helping you? I like to talk psychology. Let me think about for me. I think for me, I've just been focused on, and it's been a double edged sword because I feel like I missed a bunch of money. But when I think back to where I was at 2 years ago, right, would I have been happy with a $1,700 day? Absolutely. It's hard though when you get on Twitter and you see people putting up 6 grand, 7 grand, 8 grand on trades that you knew were going to work. But I'm just not willing to put on that kind of risk right now, especially after having lost for, having a string of red days. So, in real life, $1,700 pays for a lot of my bills, and I mostly made that in the first like hour or two of trading. So that's a good payday. I need to keep things in perspective. And, I was trading small and I still had some pretty big winners, right? I think the most I got up to was maybe like 5 micros. I wasn't trading big size. I was scaling in one, two, 3 micros at a time and just in a good trade. And that's scalable, right? If I'm consistent with that, I can always switch that to a mini or two minis or 5 micros or 10 I can size up when I'm comfortable. After I put a string of green days together, when you're trading well, that's when for me I can get aggressive. When things are clicking and I got a good read on the market, that's when I want to size up, right? Not after a red streak. I don't want to come out guns blazing saying like I'm going to teach the market a lesson, I'm going to make all this money back because it doesn't usually work that way. So I think I've done a good job this week. I kept my loss today, small for me. Like 150, $200 per XFA is really nothing. Still inside 15, 5 minutes, 30 seconds and change until we get a new 15-minute flip. Actually, we get a new hourly. We get a new hour 30, 15, 5. See if I can get an entry opportunity. And if not, I'm just going to hop off. Usually things like to start moving between 7 and 8. So in the next 5 minutes to an hour and 5 minutes, a lot of times I get off the stream and I'm like, all right, I get all my, I look skim through the charts. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go grab some food, and then an hourly setup triggers, and then I get in, and that's when I catch a nice trade. That's why I was thinking about doing the stream, like letting the first hour play out, at least maybe the first 30 minutes or so. But I didn't wait tonight because double inside 30, inside hour, inside 4 hour. I thought we were gonna get something going. It's usually when things get going, when the party happens. Let's take a peek at Tilt. Mixed on ES, slightly long on NQ. We're shorts in oil and gold longs. Let's look at oil. Take a peek. Oil shorts. So CL is getting close to a 4 hour inside bar break bear. So I could see that. Gold. Gold's just not doing much of anything right now. But volume usually picks up. Let's take a look back. Usually around 8 o'clock. I mean, this was kind of unusual. It's been, let's see. This is 8 o'clock. This is 8 o'clock Eastern, is when I've noticed. You can see here. Maybe you can't. Maybe this is too small. Where's 8 o'clock? 8 o'clock. So this is 8 o'clock over the last 2 days, and you can see we had this little volume spike, a little more volume coming in here. Things really got going on this move down, which is not surprising. But we got a little spike in volume around 8 p.m. Eastern, so that's kind of when I keep an eye on gold and metals. What time does the Shanghai stock market open? Shanghai Stock Exchange opens at 9:30 a.m. China Standard Time. What time is that Eastern? Eastern Time the previous day. So if it's Monday morning in Shanghai, it's Sunday evening in Eastern Time. So that would be 30 minutes before Shanghai Open. And Deanna, who is a top, she's on Top Step TV. She is kind of trades the gold, oil, copper, some of the, she's not an NQES trader for the most part. She trades like the alternate products. Has mentioned that gold tends to move during that time. So I just wanted to check and see if that kind of lined up with when we start to see volume come into metals. Anybody else like absolutely love the Chat GPT conversational app thingy, or is it just me? Visiting family. I showed it to my mom probably a few weeks ago, and it's like you would think it's her new best friend. I think she almost got teary eyed. It is kind of a mind blowing technology, and it's just gonna get crazier. If you guys are not like in the tech world or paying attention to what's happening in AI, it is going to be everywhere, in everything. It is going to completely change the world. Same way the internet did, but potentially more impactful, in my opinion. Like when you think, I'm 46, so I was around in the 90s. We didn't really have cell phones. Um, if people did have cell phones, they were in a big bag. You, mostly like real estate agents, business kind of people. You just left this big bag in your car, plugged it in, boom, you could make a phone call. But not like today. And we didn't have access to information in the same way. Like if you wanted to know something, you had to go like break out some books, go to the library, or like, I remember when I was a kid, we had like the encyclopedia. I guess there were encyclopedia salesmen back in the day. Um, and people bought like the encyclopedia, and you had the encyclopedia. You had this kind of wealth of knowledge in your house that you could look up things. But the internet completely changed the game. Like you're instantly connected to pretty much all human knowledge ever. And AI has just taken that and can spit it back out to you without you having to do a whole lot of digging. Crazy. Eight ball trace, that's just me. Yeah, I mean, so OpenAI just released their, I think, deep research um version of their kind of platform or model. It's just, you can have it do research for you. And I found somebody asked OpenAI, like, what are the top 20 jobs that are going to be replaced by AI? And it spent 7 minutes going through, trolling the internet, compiling all the data, and then put together an entire report of jobs that are likely to be targeted with probabilities, the whole nine. So, we're to the point where they're working on these AI agents that are designed to go out and do things for us. You say, hey, I want to book tickets to the Lakers game next week. Find me tickets that are $200 to $300. Boom. And it goes out there, it goes to the website, it'll log into your account, it will, pull up the tickets, it will ask you to confirm the order, it'll give you a couple options and say, hey, here, these are these tickets, this is where they're at, this is the row, this is the section, you know, what do you want to do? Like, I want to order the tickets. Boom. Tickets ordered. That's it. You don't have to lift a finger. Or you could take a shopping list of food. You don't even need a list of, you can just say, I'm trying to make a rotisserie chicken with green beans and broccoli and yada, 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 some garlic butter sauce. I need you to go to Instacart, order this food for me and have it delivered. Like this is kind of what I want to make. I need all the ingredients. Go to Instacart, have it sent to me, and that will be done. That will happen. You don't have to, it knows the ingredients that are needed. We'll put together the recipe for you. You can even say, hey, I need I want the recipe. I need the ingredients and yada yada yada, and just have it done. So all of those like a little annoying little life kind of things that we have to deal with will be handled in a much more streamlined way. It's pretty great. Now, there is the potential that AI, kills us all, Terminator style, which is certainly a possibility. I mean, when you think about what we're doing, we're creating intelligence smarter than us. That's wild to think about. I mean, if if an ant, right, a group of ants created us, would you just be like okay, ants, my kings, you are in charge of. You'd be like, what? No, look at these little things, squash. Like I'm on my own path, bro. Leave me alone. That was the buying opportunity I wanted. I'm not looking at NQ, and I'm over here talking about AI. And we got the flip 5 minutes ago, so I'm failing you guys. An outside 15. That was a little dip that I was waiting for. Wanted to get long here, guys. Kind of hard to do right where we're at. I wanted that little pullback that probably held like the 618 area. Whoops. Fib retracement style 382. Just healthy corrective activity. But I would just I would get into a long position here if this wasn't an outside 15er, because we saw what happened earlier with the outside, was it 30? We had the out we broke bull. This candle went red, and now we ended up closing green. So that's a little broadening information for you. You got to be careful with those. They can slap you if you're not paying attention. So this is what I was talking about earlier with the, 4 bar play. If this candle can stay green and push up here, I would expect we're going to take out, this level up here, and then get the 4 hour. See, the 4 hours 840. So yeah, this is the 4 hour inside bar high. So smaller time frame targets are higher time frame entries. Right? If we hit this on this candle. Just have to be aware that it might pause here. We could get a little bit of corrective activity. It's technically hitting a smaller time frame target, but that is the 4 hour entry. So gotta just keep that in mind. I really got spoiled the other day. It's, when there's a great Globex Asia trading session, um, I'm kind of hoping that continues like every day, and it just doesn't. It's not realistic. And then we're back to, kind of relatively small ranges. What do we got? 40-point range the first hour. We had 239 points in the first hour on Sunday. I think they figured everybody was watching Super Bowl. Yeah, I'm gonna leave my alert set on the 4 hour. That's really what I'm looking at here. Maybe I might put another, drop another alert, like if we get back up near this high. Okay. Um, Let me do it on my other chart here. If we get back up near these highs, maybe I want to get interested for a potential 4 hour break. But as it stands right now, it's been just kind of sideways chop here for a while. The last 30 plus minutes, 40 minutes. So we'll see what happens. Maybe we get a, if the 4 hour, I mean, really at this point, I'd be fine with the 4 hour staying inside. Like let this stay inside and get double inside bars and then break would be a better risk return, but who knows if that's going to happen. Yeah, we're just kind of stuck here. Again, this 15 outside bar is why I was hesitant to just take a long up here and say whatever, small size, who cares? If I stop out, I stop out, but it's hard to justify it on these outside bars because we go outside and then sometimes they flip colors, they completely reverse. I would have been just stuck in a losing position for no good reason, right? I didn't have a solid reason to get in other than just kind of FOMO, missing this entry at 803.50, which is still good. So like if I had gotten in here, it'd be fine. I could just hold this and whatever, as long as we don't, set a break even stop and see if we get the 4 hour in force. But here we go. With the outside bar going from green to red. Gotta be careful with these. If it wasn't on your radar before, it should be. You see an outside bar, be like, stop. Like reevaluate what's going on here. All right, guys, that wasn't very exciting, but I mean, it is what it is. I can only trade what the market gives me. Missed a little entry opportunity there on the 15er, but we haven't really gotten anywhere, so I don't feel like it's a huge miss. But I do like to get into these positions early and then just try and hold them as long as I can. No risk. And if I stop out, I stop out. But when I'm right, good for 50, 60, 80, 100 points, 200 points. Those are the nice ones to be in. But I'm going to hop off, get something to eat, and that's about it. What's up, Busy? How are you? Dorothea, you're welcome. I enjoy doing these. I usually like to try and make some money, but doesn't always work out that way. Hopefully, next time I pop back on, I'll have banked, a nice 4 figure day. We'll see. I'm going to keep an eye on the 4 hour, and that's about it. I will catch you guys later. Have a good night. If you're trading, be smart, trade safe, manage risk, use stops, etc., etc. Talk to you guys later.